Dear Neil Armstrong, I write this to you as she sleeps down the hall. I need answers that I think only you might have. When you were a boy and space was simple science fiction, when flying was merely a daydream between periods of history and physics, when gifts of moon dust to the one you loved could only be wrapped in your imagination, before the world knew your name and before it was a destination, what was the moon like from your backyard? Your arm, strong, warm, wrapped across your shoulders, both of you gazing up from your back porch, summers before your distant journey. But upon landing on the moon, as the Earth rose over the sea of tranquility, did you look for her? I mean, what was it like to see our planet and know that everything you could be, all you could ever just love and long for, was just floating before you? Did you, by any chance, happen to write her name in the dirt when the cameras weren't looking, or surround both of your initials with a heart for alien life to study a million years from now? What is it like to love someone so distant? What words did you use to bring the moon back to her, and what did you promise in the moon's ear about the girl back home? Can you teach me how to fall from the sky? I ask you this not because I doubt your feet. I just want to know what it's like to go somewhere no man had ever been, just to find out she wasn't there. To realize your moonwalk could never compare to the steps that led to her. I now know that the flight home means more. And every July I think of you. I imagine the summer of 1969, how lonely she must have felt while you were gone. You never went back to the moon. And I believe that's because it doesn't take rockets to get you where you belong. I see that in this woman down the hall, and sometimes she seems so much further, but I'm ready for whatever steps I must take to get to her. I've seen so many skies, and the moon always looks the same. So I gotta say, Neil, that rock you landed on ain't got shit on the rock she's landed on. You walked around, took samples, and left, but she's built a fire, cleaned up the place, and I hope she decides to stay. Because on this rock, we can both breathe. Mr. Armstrong, I don't have much. Many times have I been upside downtrodden, but with these empty hands comes a heart that is full more often than the moon. She's becoming my world, pulling me into orbit, and I now know I may never find life outside of hers. So I want to give her everything that I don't have yet. So yes, for her, I would go to the moon and back, but not without her. I mean, why? When we could claim the moon for each other with flags made from sheets down the hall, and I'd risk it all to kiss her under the light of earth, the brightness of home, but I can do all of that and more right here wherever she is. And when we gaze up with her arms around me, I will not promise her gifts of moon dust or flights of fancy. Instead, I will gladly give her all the earth she wants in return for all the earth she is, the sound of her heartbeat and laughter, and all the time it takes to learn to fall from the sky, down the hall, and right into love. Man, I would do it every day if I could just land next to her. 5, 4, 3, 2. One small step for a man, but she's one giant leap for my kind.